Hello guys, we are going to get started on our math lesson. So if you would please grab your enVision workbook. We're going to be on page 80. So if you'll turn to page 80, get something to write with, and I'm going to go ahead and start the camera. All right, let's see if I can scoot. I can't scoot that out of the way. Okay. All right. So we're going to be talking about patterns in multiples of 10. So this page 80, is going to go along with our video. We have a new student in our class, Sophia, and so this will be her first official lesson. So Sophia, you can turn to page 80. Everyone else can turn to page 80. And then I'm going to actually go back out right now and get our video started. Just have a few steps we have to make. All right. So we're going to start our video.
What are the patterns in multiples of 10? Think about this question during the lesson. Look at the chart. What does it show? The chart shows the number of miles Greg will swim, run, and bike each week. How many miles will Greg swim in 1 week?
Okay, so swimming. How many miles will Greg swim in 1 week? It says this is the weekly schedule. So swimming will be 4 miles for 1 week.
He will swim 4 miles in 1 week. How many miles will Greg swim in 2 weeks?
Okay, so thinking about
select your answer.
2 groups of 4. 2 groups of 4 would be 8.
In 2 weeks, Greg will swim 8 miles. Greg wants to train for a race that is 10 weeks away. The chart shows his training schedule. How many miles will Greg run to train for the race? Let's find out. What operation should you choose to find how many miles Greg will run in 10 weeks?
Okay, so what will be the easiest way to solve that? Would we add? We could do repeated addition. We could do subtraction, addition, multiplication, division. Which one sounds like the best operation that we would choose to figure out the mileage times 10 weeks? So multiplication would be the right answer.
You should multiply to find how many miles Greg will run in 10 weeks. You can use patterns to find 10 times 10. Let's use patterns to find the product. What pattern do you see in the table of tens facts?
So let's look at this table of tens facts. 0 times 10 is 0. 1 times 10 is 10. 2 times 10 is 20. 3 times 10 is 30. 4 times 10 is 40. 5 times 10 is 50. 6 times 10 is 60. 7 times 10 is 70. 8 times 10 is 80. 9 times 10 is 90. 10 times 10 is, should be 100, right? So let's look. In the ones column, every single one, the answer is 0 in the ones column. Then in the tens column, we keep going up like it's almost as if we're just doing 3 times 1, which is 3. 3 times 0 is 0. You're doing them against both of the place values. We can skip count by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So there's lots of different patterns that we can see.
The tens digit of the product is the factor you multiply by 10. So, write the factor you are multiplying by 10 in the tens place. Also, the ones digit is always 0. So, write a 0 in the ones place.
Okay.
Thus, the product increases by 10 each time. This is the same as counting by tens in a 100 chart. What is the missing product in the table?
Okay, so if we have 70, 80, 90, 100.
100 is the missing product in the table. So, Greg will run 100 miles. Now you know how to multiply by 10 when 10 is a factor.
All right, let's go back here and go to the convince me, which is going to be at the bottom of page 80.
How many miles will Greg swim in 10 weeks? Write an equation and explain how to use a pattern to find the product.
Okay, so let's go back to using our camera. Okay, so how many miles will Greg swim in 10 weeks? All right, so how many miles does he do for 1 week? He does 4 miles times 10 weeks. We can do the 4 times the 1 equals 4, and the 4 times the 0 equals 0. So we can explain how to use the pattern to find the product. We can say you can multiply the factors together times 1 and 0. Okay. All right, so go ahead and get your answer written down. If you need to pause this, go ahead and pause. And then we're going to go over here to page 81. It says you can use a number line to find 3 times 10. We start at the 0, we go 10, 20, 30. 3 times 10 is 30. Let's look at number 1. Is 91 a multiple of 10? Do you say 91 when you're counting by tens? No, we don't. So no. You won't say 91 when skip counting by tens. If you multiply any one-digit number by 10, what do you write in the tens digit of the product? Okay? You write the number, the factor, you multiplied. So 7 times 10 would equal 770. Okay, find each product. 2 times 1 is 2, times 0 is 0. 4 times 1 is 6, 4 times 0 is 0. 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 0 is 0. 9 times 1 is 9, 9 times 0 is 0. That's one way you can get to it. Okay, make sure you have all of that written down from the guided practice. And now we're going to go to the independent practice. It says in 7 and 8, use the number lines to help find the product. So one group of 10. So we just do 1 time and we get 10. 5 groups of 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50. All right. So number 9, find the missing product or factor. So we have the 0 in place. So 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 0 is 0. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 0 is 0. 5 times what equals 50? 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 7 times 10 equals, 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 0 is 0. 80 equals 10 times what? 8. All right, make sure you have everything filled out on this side before you go to the next side. So pause right now if you need to, so you can look at all of the answers. If you're finished, we're going to go on to page 82. Okay. Number 15 says, Eddie borrowed $65 from his dad. Every month he pays back $12. Complete the table to show how much money Eddie still owes his dad after 4 months. All right, so they started out at 65 and he paid 12. So 65 minus 12, 5 minus 2 is 3, 6 minus 1 is 5. In May, 53 minus 12, 3 minus 2 is 1, 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, and then the next month, we should have 41, take away 12, 1 minus 2 you can't do, so we're going to borrow 41 and 12, and 4 minus 1 is 3, 31. Oh, that can't be right. Oh, that's why. Goodness, boys and girls, look at that. Let's go back here. We need to have 41 minus 12, and I can't take 2 out of 1. This is making more sense. 11 minus 2 is 9, and 3 minus 1 is 2, so it should be 29. And then 29 minus 12. 9 minus 2 is 7, 2 minus 1 is 1. 17. So complete the table to find out how much money Eddie still owes his dad after 4 months. He still owes Sorry about that. Okay, he still owes $17. Okay. Number 16. Kimmy bought 7 tickets to a concert. Each ticket costs $10. She also paid $5 to have the tickets delivered. Write equations to show how much money Kimmy spent in all. So 7 tickets, each cost $10. So 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 0 is 0. So that's $70. She has also paid $5 to have the tickets delivered. So 70 minus 5 equals $65. Number 17, write an addition equation and a multiplication equation for the array below. So we have 1, 2, 3 groups of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and what does that equal? 5, 10, 15. Okay, we're also going to write an addition equation. So we've got 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 15. Okay, make sure you get that written down. Number 18 says, use the table to find the total number of juice boxes bought for a school picnic. So it says hot dogs, rolls, and juice boxes. Use the table to find the total number of juice boxes bought for a school picnic. Well, there are 7 packages, and there are 10 in each package, so that is 70 juice boxes. All right, number 19. Look at the table at the top of page 80. Greg multiplied 5 times 10 to find out how many more miles he biked than swam in the 10 weeks. How does that make sense? Why or why not? So we're going to look at the table at the top of page 8. Greg multiplied 5 times 10 to find out how many more miles he biked than swam in the 10 weeks. Does that make sense? Why or why not? Okay, so there's page 80, the table at the top of page 80. He multiplied 5 times 10 to find out how many more miles. 5 times 10 to find out how many more miles he has to go. So 50, and it says oh, go ahead, come in. Just a minute, guys. Yeah, a second. All right, sorry about that, guys. I need to open up our window. All right, we're back in business. Okay, look at the table on the top of page 80. Greg multiplied 5 times 10 to find how many more miles he biked than swam in the 10 weeks. How does that make sense? Why or why not? Okay, so look at the top. It says that he biked 5 miles. Look at the top. Greg multiplied 5 times 10 to find out how many more miles he biked than swam. So biking, then swimming. 9 minus 4 equals 5. Okay, so 5 more miles. Okay? He biked 5 more miles than swam. And so how many more miles did he bike than swam in the first and the 10 weeks? How does that make sense? 5 times 10 equals 50 miles. Okay. You might have, a pretty close to that answer. I think that's going to be good enough. Number 20. May had 8 packs of pens. Each pack had 10 pens. She gave 5 packs to Irving and 3 packs to Sarah. How many pens did May start with? She had 8 packs of 10, make it 80 pens. Okay, the next part says, did May give more pens to Irving or to Sarah? Okay, to Irving, she gave 5 packs to Irving, so that's 5 times 10 equals 50. That's for Irving. And then for Sarah, he did 3 times 10, which equals 30. So did May give more pens to Irving or Sarah? More to Irving. Okay? Because he had 2 more packs of 10 than Sarah. All right, go ahead and write that down. Pause it if you need to. Okay, then we're going to go over the homework. that I'd like you to do today so we can correct it tomorrow morning. All right, so make sure you push pause. All right, page 83. It says, the table shows multiplication facts for 10. So it shows us all those 10s that we have. It says to find the answer, you can use a number line or you can write a 0 after the 5. Okay, so it says all multiples of 10 end with 0. That's a big one. Okay, so for example, to find the answer, you can use a number line or you can write a 0 after the 5. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, or 5 times 10 equals 50. On number 1 and 2, it says use the number line to help find the product. So that's the same thing we did on, on this page. Excuse me. On 3 through 12, you're just going to multiply and find the product. Skip counting by 10, multiply the 1 by the next number, and then add a 0, whatever strategy you prefer. And then on the back, it says, Joey made this graph to show how many incorrect answers students got on a test. How many students got 3 answers incorrect? How do you know? So you're going to look here. This is the number of students. This is the number of incorrect answers, so then you can see. How do you know which one's the right answer? Number 14, Julie sees a ride that spins 10 turns each minute. She says it will spin 40 turns in 4 minutes. Is Julie correct? Explain. Number 15 is vocabulary. Define multiples of 10. Give an example of a multiple of 10. So what does it mean to be a multiple of 10? Number 16, Greg has 3 rows of stamps with 10 stamps in each row. Greg says there are a total of 35 stamps. Use what you've learned about multiples of 10 to explain why Greg is incorrect. Why is he incorrect? Number 17, Junior says the product of 25 times 10 is 250. How can you use patterns to check Junior's answer? So what did we do that will help you solve that to see if you did it right? Number 18, Benjamin has 5 baskets. Each basket has 10 berries in it. Explain how you could find how many berries Benjamin has. So you're going to explain it here. If Benjamin instead had 10 baskets with 5 berries in each basket, explain how you could find how many berries he has. So you're going to work that out right here. All right, make sure that you have your homework done before you watch our video tomorrow. If you have any questions, go back and look at what we've already done. It should be very, very similar, very, very similar steps. All right. And if you finish with that, make sure you're working on your IXL. Come back here. Make sure you're working on your IXL. If you haven't done your diagnostic, you should be doing that. 20 minutes, 10 minutes, just working on it a little bit at a time. And make sure you're doing your spelling city as well. But for math, extra math, IXL, diagnostic, and assignments, and your enVision math. All right, guys, you're doing super. Keep it up.